Our Constitution is very clear. It guarantees independence of the judicial system, and it also guarantees the division of power between different branches of government, the judiciary, the parliamentary, and the executive. It's those laws are in open conflict with this, and we can always argue one way or another, but at the end of the day, it's very difficult to say that this is not the case. And,
are you worried about Poland's democratic future?
And the problem is that it's true that the governing party has won the election. Nobody questioned this, but they don't have constitutional majority to change this constitution.
We're not changing constitution. We're not changing constitution. We are changing the law of the courts.
But implications is that the independence of judiciary is being very much constrained, and this is the reason.
It's not true. It is not true. Our law is much more liberal than the law in Germany. Look at Germany. In Poland, we're gonna.
But Dominic, if your law was indeed doing what it was supposed to do, you would not have Brussels threatening you with sanctions.
And you wouldn't have a president. You wouldn't have the president veto two of those laws.
Veto from the president means that our constitution and our democracy is very well. We are doing very well. That's his constitutional right, and he used that. It means that he's not the president of law and justice, but he's the president of all Poles. For 2 years, he's been told, and he was called a pen. He was called really bad names, as a president of law and justice, which is not true. He used his constitutional right. Now he's going to propose his offer. We're going to see what this offer is, and then we're going to discuss it. Very important is that in Poland, not Minister of Justice will appoint judges, which is not true. We heard that. Look at Germany. In Germany, a Minister of Justice directly taking the point and taking the judges. And in Poland, we're going to have National Council of Judges between government and the courts.
Dominic,
that's the difference. So our law is even more European, more civilized.
Dominic, at this point, let me allow Jan to respond.
Look, I understand that you have to defend government policy. The problem is that
I'm defending Polish people who elected us.
The very few people agree with what you argue. And the very fact that you won elections, it doesn't mean that you are in a position to curb judicial independence. And you know very well that you would have to compromise on this. And of course, there are various solutions of appointing judges, but there are certain constitutional principles for which you don't have a mandate to infringe.
In what way we are limiting? In what way we are limiting independence of the judges?
But look, it's very simple. If a general procureur, who is a minister of justice, has decisive role in appointing judges, which are part of the same judicial process, then you don't need to be a lawyer to understand that basically.
I'm a lawyer.
I'm a lawyer too, but that's not the point.
There you go.
At this point, we're going to have.
That is the point, because I'd like to have essential discussion. I don't want to have a political criticism, which we are having from EU since we won the election. They are looking for any really example to criticize us. I'd like to have essential discussion about Article 180 of Polish Constitution, point 5.
Dominic,
every judge can be retired.